up, everyone? We are here in the Jurassic room, and today, welcome to yet another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week, where you, the fans, get to pick what dinosaur toys that are showcased. And as you can see at the top of the screen, I got a bunch of requests again. So if you would like to make a request for next week's episode, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. But now let's go ahead and check out all of your awesome picks for this week. So the first pick that we have from this episode is from Jurassic Block for the Hammond collection Carnotaurus from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And again, I know I've said this quite a few times in previous videos, but this is my favorite Hammond collection figure that they have released to date. It's got amazing details, a great paint job, an incredible sculpt, and great articulation like the Hammond collection is known for. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another really cool look at our Carnotaurus here. So this to me is a perfect figure to start off this week's episode with. The next request we have here is from HW Entertainment Channel, and this is for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Wild Roar Parasaurolophus, which is a beautiful figure. As all of you can see, it's got lights and sounds. Check this out. Super sweet. And then we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our parasaurolophus, as y'all can see, and how it works. This one's got a pretty interesting sculpt. Nothing too crazy on the articulation, but it is a bit different from the parasaurolophus figures that we've gotten in the past Mattel toy lines, so that makes it a very cool addition for the collection. So now the next request right here is from Ash Edits for my favorite T-Rex, and I always showcase my favorite Kenner T-Rex, so I thought I'd showcase my favorite Mattel T-Rex today, and that is the Jurassic Park Electronic Real Feel Tyrannosaurus Rex from the 93 Classic line. I think this is my favorite for obvious reasons, such as the real feel skin, just like the old Kenner toys, and just the homage that they paid to the original Red Rex from Jurassic Park. And this thing has got some cool features. Look at that roar. And then of course we can open that mouth real wide as well, which is really sweet. And then we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Red Rex, as we shall call it. And they actually gave it a kind of a realistic background like Kenner used to do on the back of the boxes of their toys. So this toy is just so cool for so many reasons, and definitely my favorite Mattel T-Rex. Now, the next request here is from Inna Love for the Hammond Collection Velociraptor Delta from Jurassic World. And again, like I always say about Hammond Collection, this figure has got an awesome sculpt and top-notch articulation, and the paint job's not too shabby on this one either. We get a cool look at Delta there on the side, and then looking at the back of the box, we get a better look at Delta and the glass eyes that they've introduced. And like I've said before, they really upgraded the sculpt on these Velociraptors compared to the first few Hammond Collection ones, so that makes this Velociraptor Delta and others like Velociraptor Blue really nice additions to the Hammond Collection. So now we have another request here from Jawa Lombard for the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Track and Attack Indoraptor, and this is a pretty cool figure. It's different from the Indoraptors we've gotten in the past because it does have a different sculpt, and it has almost a shiny blue color to it, which is pretty cool, and it's got some awesome features. Lights and sounds, light up eyes, and some awesome teeth that go together. Super sweet. And then looking at the back of the box, we get a good look at the glowing red eyes, tracking gear included, and just really what this Indoraptor can do. And you can actually lift its arm for more chomping. Look at that, it'll go to the side too. Another really sweet toy for today's episode. So now the next request here is from Jurassic World Addict, and they asked for a brachiosaurus figure, so I thought, why not go vintage in this really unique Jurassic Park 3 electronic react attack brachiosaurus, which is one that's really special from my childhood. As you can see, it's not a full-scale brachiosaurus, but it is really interesting looking. It's of course got its little button here and its action features, as you can see, but of course the sounds don't work anymore because this is over a 20-year-old toy. But I've always loved this brachiosaurus. Its bendy neck, how how it's posable, and I just really love the blue color. Now, when we look at the back of the box, it's really odd because they don't even show the brachiosaurus. They actually show the pteranodon attacking the alpha velociraptor, which is pretty interesting. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but this toy is really awesome and one that's special to me and nostalgic from my childhood. Now, the next request we have here is from Jurassic Daniel for the Jurassic World Snap Squad Spinosaurus, and this is such a cute little toy. Look at that fun little sculpt and everything and its little dangling legs. And for those of you that don't even know anything about Snap Squad, they chomp here and then they hold on real well so you can hang them kind of on anything, and then their legs kind of dangle, which makes it really, really fun. Then when we look at the back of the box, there is nothing interesting there, but this Spinosaurus is adorable and something that you can chomp and just hang from anywhere in your collection, so this makes this a really fun toy to own. So now the next request we have here is from Raptor for the Jurassic World Stegoceratops, and this is honestly one of the only kind of cool figures that Hasbro Jurassic World gave us, just because it is so unique. We've got a little bit of a play feature here, which is nothing too crazy, but it's just so interesting to see a hybrid of a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another look at our Stegoceratops and its bashing head and hybrid Dino, which is pretty cool. Again, nothing too crazy about this figure, but it is still one of the better ones made from the Jurassic World Hasbro toy line, so that makes me pretty happy to have it in my collection. Now, the next request we have here is from Sergio Estella for the Lost World Jurassic Park Electronic Bull T-Rex, and what can I say? This is one of the most awesome and most iconic Jurassic Park toys of all time. I mean, it's got the real feel skin, can swallow dinosaurs and put them back out the stomach, and it is just massive and so awesome to see. This is definitely one of my favorite toys from my childhood and is still one of my favorite toys all the way to this day, so it makes me super happy to have it in my collection, and I'm always happy to showcase it. Now, the next request here is from Artsy Arts and Collect Man, and this is for the Hammond Collection Giganotosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion. And I know I've showcased this one a few times, but there's never too much to say about this incredible figure, which is my favorite from the entire Hammond collection. Not only is it massive and has an amazing sculpt and paint job, but this thing just looks sweet. I mean, even from the side of the box, you can see how awesome this Giganotosaurus looks. And then looking at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Giganotosaurus, some of its different posability features, and those glass eyes, which make it look a little bit extra menacing. But again, this is definitely one of my favorite Hammond collection figures of all time. I meant to say it's my second favorite. Actually, the Carnotaurus is my favorite, but this is such a sweet figure for any collector to own. So now the next request right here is from Dree Not Found and Sharky Blocks for the Hammond Collection Ankylosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. And again, this is one of the cooler Hammond Collection figures that has come out, maybe even my favorite herbivore so far. I mean, look at that Ankylosaurus looking really, really nice, and the paint job is so close to Jurassic Park 3 that I think they really did a good job. But again, you can't see the figure too amazingly from inside of the box, but you can see that those details on this figure are really nice. The sculpt is great, the paint job is good, and of course the articulation is top notch, as the Hammond Collection always is. So this is another really, really sweet figure that came out in the Hammond Collection. So now the next request here is from Angie Studios for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Action Attack Stegosaurus. And when you said 2017 Stegosaurus, I think you meant 2018 Stegosaurus, and that is why I picked this one. But this is the first Stegosaurus toy that we got from Mattel, and it definitely didn't disappoint. It's got a really awesome sculpt and a pretty good size to it, and I think the paint job looks pretty nice. And we've got a pretty cool action feature where you can actually press down on the spike here, or actually on the plate here, and get that tail attacking with some strike action, which is really cool. And again, looking at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Stegosaurus and its tail striking action. But this is one of those first figures that really got me obsessed with Mattel's toys, and one that is really iconic to me. Now we have another request here from Stavarn for the Fierce Changers, and here's the Jurassic World Massive Stretch Fierce Changer, Indoraptor, and Brachiosaurus, and these toys are just so weird, guys. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the foot that's supposed to be the arm of the Indoraptor. I mean, the head sculpt of the Indoraptor isn't too bad, but it transforming back and forth is just really, really weird and gives it just a very weird vibe. But looking at that, you can see how you transform from the Indoraptor to the Brachiosaurus, which is just so super odd. I'm not quite sure why Mattel made this toy line, and I don't think it's super popular, but it is Jurassic World, so I do collect it. Now, the next request right here is from Ezekiel Clark for the Jurassic World Legacy Collection geosternbergia, except for this one that I have here is in this Chinese Jurassic World Dominion packaging, which is really, really interesting because, again, this is a Legacy Collection figure, but they never released this one in the US, so I had to order it in from China. But as you can see, it's got a pretty cool sculpt, a pretty cool paint job, and you can get its wings flapping by pressing the button on its back. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another look at our geosternbergia and its wing flapping action. Now, this is a pretty rare figure here in the US since it never saw a release here, and this version of it in the Chinese packaging is probably even more rare, so this is a really interesting piece for me to have for my collection. So the next request we have here is from Jacob D and Tristan B Plays for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution All-Out Attack Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this is one of the cooler T-Rexes that we've gotten in a while. It's got an awesome sculpt, an awesome paint job, and such a unique feature to it. And then when you press it multiple times and get it going, it starts going faster. This is just such a cool toy. And then we look at the back of the box, we get another look at our T-Rex and its continuous rampage action and how it evolves for battle and the teeth grow, which is really, really cool. I think this is one of the most unique T-Rex figures that we've gotten from Mattel, so it makes me really, really love it. Now, the next request we have here is from Lucas17 Dino for some more Hammond collection, and we've got the Hammond collection Pyroraptor from Jurassic World Dominion, which is a sweet figure. As you can see, the sculpt looks really, really awesome, and the paint job is very vibrant as well. And then look at that little scene right there of our Pyroraptor looking awesome. And then on the back of the box, we get a better look at our Pyroraptor, some of its posability, and again, that glass eye that they keep introducing into all the new Hammond collection figures to give them a little bit more of a realistic look. But this is a sweet Hammond collection figure right here, and one that's becoming a bit elusive because I still am yet to ever see one of these in stores. I did have to order mine online, and it seems like they're not even really in stock that much anymore online, so this may end up being a very rare figure for all of your collections. So now we got another request here from Dino Benjamin for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Roarvors Baryonyx. And again, this is the first Baryonyx figure that we got from Mattel, and it is my favorite Baryonyx figure that we've gotten from Mattel because the sculpt looks really nice, even though we've gotten this sculpt repainted a few more times, but I also just really love this colorway. I love that shiny blue paint on the top of the head. I think it gives it a really cool and vibrant look, and it just looks really, really nice, and it does have sound effects and chomping. But of course, the sound effects have gone dead because, like I always say, Mattel batteries just do not last in these figures. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Baryonyx and how you can push the button for sound and chomping action. But again, this is my favorite Baryonyx toy that Mattel has released, and a really sweet one to have in the collection. So now we have another Baryonyx right here as requested by Dinosaurs Roll, and this is the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Primal Attack Soundstrike Baryonyx Grim. And again, this one has the exact same sculpt as the Fallen Kingdom one that we just looked at, but this one has a very different paint job, and this is probably my second favorite Baryonyx figure that I have released yet because I really dig this paint job. I think it looks really, really sweet, and it's got the same features, well, actually not the same features, little different. And luckily the sounds still work on this one, even though it sounds like a T-Rex, which is hilarious. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our baryonyx grim and its thrashing action and head strike, which is pretty sweet. Again, I love both of these baryonyx figures that we just took a look at, and I'm happy to have both of them in my collection. Now, the next request we have right here is from Rebecca for the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex pack, which is really awesome. I love this Extreme Chompin' T-Rex repaint right here to look like the buck. I think it's got a pretty vibrant paint job and looks awesome. And of course, the little baby T-Rex down here doesn't look too shabby as well. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at the chomping action on both our buck and our junior T-Rex here, which is really, really awesome. This is one of the cooler Legacy Collection sets that we did get back when they first started releasing, so I'm super happy to have this one, and I like the way it's presented in the box. I think this is just a really awesome set. So now the next request we have here is from Rebecca D for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Darius and Atrociraptor Ghost Pack, which is really, really awesome. Look how sweet Ghost is looking. I'm really liking that paint job, even though it's nothing fancy. I just really like the color of Atrociraptor Ghost, and Darius isn't looking too shabby himself either. And then we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at Darius and actually Atrociraptor Ghost as Rebecca D had requested. This is a really, really sweet set and one that I just recently added to my collection, so I'm very glad that I finally found it and I don't have to worry about searching for it any longer. So now the next request here is from Maria Della for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Action Attack Carnotaurus. And again, this is the first Carnotaurus figure that we got from Mattel, and it is pretty cool. It's always had this iconic little chomp here, which I've seen in so many different videos and stuff. I've always loved the way it chomps really fast. I think that's really, really cool. And it's got an awesome sculpt and paint job, which makes this also really, really cool. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Carnotaurus and its massive chomping action. But again, I love this chomp. I love the way it's just zoom so fast. This is just a really awesome figure and another one that has a special spot in my heart because this did come out right when I started collecting all of the Mattel Jurassic World toys. So now we have another request here from Cody Allen for more Hammond collection, and this is the Hammond collection Parasaurolophus from the Lost World Jurassic Park. And again, this is another really, really pretty figure, and it's got a really vibrant and gorgeous paint job, as all of you can see. Look at that. Now the head is a little bit too thick on this figure, I will say, but I'm not going to complain because it still looks really, really sweet in my opinion, and has great posability, so there's so much that you can do with this awesome toy. But again, looking at this one, other than the really thick face, I think the sculpt is really nice. I think the paint job is really, really cool and looks just like the movie, and it's another awesome addition to the Hammond collection. So the next request here is from Carucci for the massive Hammond collection Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park. And as you can see, this is such a gorgeous figure and is huge. Look at those measurements, 109 centimeters long or 43 inches long and 69 centimeters high or 27 inches tall. This thing is massive and has amazing details, a great paint job, and actually a bendable soft neck so that you can pose the Brachiosaurus in so many different ways, like it's eating out of the tree, as you can see here in this scene. This is one of the nicest Hammond collection figures that we've got, and one of the biggest Mattel toys that we've ever gotten, so that makes it a really awesome addition for any collector's collection. Now the next request here is from Joshua Figuro, and we've got even more Hammond collection today, guys. We've got the Hammond collection Stegosaurus from the Lost World Jurassic Park, actually the baby Stegosaurus, which is super adorable. Look at that cute little sculpt, nice little paint job. This thing is just adorable, and look at that face. How could you not love that face? And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our baby Stegosaurus, the same one that Sarah Harding approached in the Lost World Jurassic Park, and I don't really blame her. I would probably approach this baby Stegosaurus too, because it is just absolutely adorable. And again, it's got really awesome articulation like all of the Hammond collection does, and a pretty good sculpt and paint job. So I would say this is another pretty solid addition to the Hammond collection. Now, this next request here is from Camila Segna for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Wild Roar Majungasaurus Major. And this one is really sweet because they completely changed the sculpt from the last time they did a Majungasaurus. And I think the sculpt looks pretty cool. And I love this blue paint job as well. And look at these awesome action features. Definitely a really sweet looking figure. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at Majungasaurus Major and its rampage attack, which is pretty sweet. Again, I think this is a very solid addition to the Epic Evolution and Jurassic World Chaos Theory toy line, and I'm very happy to have it. So now the next request we have here is from Mr. Raptor Sub, who is also my manager for any of you that didn't know, but this is for the Jurassic Park 3 React Attack Spinosaurus, and this is such an iconic figure from my childhood. And while there's nothing too special about the sculpt, paint job, or anything about it, it's just special to me because this is a toy that I spent many hours playing with in my childhood. It's got a button here for some sounds and a button here for some chomping action and sounds, but of course with this being over a 20-year-old toy, the batteries are probably not going to work. And then we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Spinosaurus actually attacking a T-Rex, which is really awesome. But this is just a really fun figure for me and one that has a lot of nostalgic value, so that makes it very special to me. So now this next request here is from Brian Diaz for any Spinosaurus, and I decided to go with arguably the rarest Spinosaurus in my collection, and this is the Jurassic Park 3 Camo Extreme Jungle Spinosaurus. And while this one has the exact same sculpt as the Spinosaurus we just looked at prior, this one has got a really vibrant paint job compared to that one, with these crazy stripes, this really bright blue coloring going through it. It just makes this figure looks super unique. And then of course it's got the same buttons, but these sounds actually still work. Listen to this. Those exact sound effects right there are so iconic to me, guys. I can't even explain. I listened to those so much through my childhood. And then looking at the back of the box, we get a look at our Jungle Spinosaurus and some of the other offerings from this rare Jurassic Park 3 Camo Extreme line. But again, this is such a sweet figure and a very rare one in my collection, so that definitely makes it extremely special. Now we've got another request here from Desi Rex for the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Camouflage and Battle Indominus Rex, and this is probably my favorite Indominus Rex toy that Mattel has made yet to date. Though it has a smaller sculpt than the Dino Rivals and the Primal Attack versions that we got prior, I think this sculpt looks a little bit more realistic, and it's got even cooler features. So not only does it have sounds, but it actually has camouflage colors. That just looks so cool to me. I mean, literally so awesome. Look at that. I love those green lights going through it. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Indominus Rex and its camouflage and chomp and side-to-side attack, which is really sweet. Again, this is my favorite Mattel Indominus Rex figure that has been released yet, and it is a really sweet one for anyone's collection. Now this next request here is from Bimkin the Chicken, and this is for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Mega Dual Attack amargasaurus, and this is honestly one of the more rare Jurassic World toys that ever got released. I only saw this one in stores one time, picked it up then, and then never saw it again, but it's got a pretty cool sculpt and a nice little paint job and some pretty cool action features like some tail whip right here and some head bobbing action, which is pretty cool. battle. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our amargasaurus. It's super tail strike, super head strike, and it's collector card that it comes with, just like every toy does from the Dino Rivals toy line, which is pretty awesome and unique of that toy line. But again, this amargasaurus is extremely rare, so it makes it really awesome for me to have in my collection. So now this next request right here is from Skullcrawlers for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Battle Roaring Becklespinax. And again, like I've said in the past, this is my favorite Chaos Theory toy that has been released. Not only does it have a sweet sculpt and a cool paint job, but it's got some pretty cool features too. Really cool. And then of course you can also press here. Wait, where is it? Where do we press? We press somewhere. No, that's the scan code. I think you actually pull up on some spot to get these spines up. I actually can't quite remember how to do it. Where is that button? I don't quite remember. But now looking at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Rampage action and its evolved for battle. And actually now I remember, I'm being silly. You actually turn it this way to get those spikes to come out, as y'all can see there. So this way gets the head to go down, and this way gets the head up and the spikes to come out, which is pretty sweet of this figure. But again, like I was saying, this is definitely my favorite Jurassic World Chaos Theory toy that has been released yet. And now here is another request from Jurassic Lucas for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Mega Duel Attack Quetzalcoatlus. And this is the first Quetzalcoatlus that we got from Mattel. And it's got a really vibrant paint job, as y'all can see. It's almost like a parrot or something. I mean, wow. It has got some wacky colors to it, but I think that makes it kind of unique. And then of course it's got its dual features, like its wings that go here, and then its head that chomps here, which is pretty cool if I'm being honest. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Quetzalcoatlus, its super wing strike, and its super chomp, and of course the collector card that it comes with, like every toy in the Dino Rivals toy line. Again, this is a pretty cool figure here, and one that's not super easy to come by, so it makes it a pretty fun addition for my collection. Now this next request here is from Long Huang for the Jurassic World Dominion Ferocious Pack Atrociraptor Panthera, and this one is looking pretty awesome. It is in that crouch sculpt, which isn't my favorite, but it is pretty cool if you're setting it up for some scenes, and it's got a decent little paint job here and a nice sculpt, so I guess I'm not really complaining about it. And then looking at the back of the box, we get to see our Atrociraptor here and some of the other figures that came in the assortment. But again, looking at the front of the figure, there's nothing too crazy about this one, but it is still really cool, and it's fun if you're trying to build the entire Atrociraptor pack, because this would be 1/4 of it. But this Atrociraptor Panthera figure right here is pretty sweet. And now the final request of today's video is from Rodrigo Juarez for the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Diplodocus, which just got released, which is super sweet. Look at that beautiful box art, and look how big this Diplodocus is. 56 inches long. This thing is incredibly huge and is such a sweet toy and looks so good with all of the other sauropods that have been released by Mattel. This one here has probably got a little bit more detail and a better paint job than some of the other prior versions, even though it is a little bit smaller in size, but it makes up for it in the awesome sculpt and the awesome paint and just how long this dinosaur is. So this is another sweet addition that Mattel has created for all of our collections. Thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week. Again, if you would like to make a request for next week's video, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.